What makes someone unforgettable? Why is it that, when you step away, they suddenly remember your name, your face, your essence? Is it guilt, regret, or something deeper, something they can't quite explain, but feel in the silence you leave behind? Here's the curious thing about human nature. Absence doesn't make the heart grow fonder, it makes the mind obsess. Think about it. How often have you ignored something, an opportunity, a person, a moment, only to realize, far too late, how valuable it was? That's the peculiar irony of life. We rarely value what's in front of us until it's gone. And when it's gone, oh, how the longing begins. You've seen this before. Perhaps you've lived it. Maybe it's an ex suddenly showing up in your inbox with a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" Or a friend who distanced themselves now checking in as if nothing happened. Or even colleagues who once underestimated you now seeking your advice. Why? What changed? You? Them? The weather? Let's not sugarcoat it. They didn't come back by accident. They came back because of the undeniable power you now embody. But here's the twist. This power didn't come from begging, chasing, or explaining yourself. No, it came from something far deeper, something the Stoics mastered long before TikTok or self-help gurus existed. It came from building a life so rooted in discipline, purpose, and self-worth that others couldn't help but be drawn back into your orbit. You see, when you step back and focus on your growth, on refining your mind, nurturing your body, and aligning with your highest values, you transform. The world notices. And those who once took you for granted can't help but return, like moss to a flame they didn't know they needed. But what exactly is it about you that makes them come back? Why is your presence suddenly so magnetic, your absence so unbearable? In this video, we'll delve into 11 reasons why they return after you've given them distance. These reasons are rooted in tricks or manipulation. They're the natural result of living with authenticity, resilience, and unapologetic self-worth. Before we dive into these timeless truths, let me ask you something. Are you ready to uncover what makes you truly unforgettable? Are you willing to embrace the power of living a life so elevated that others can't help but gravitate towards you? If so, let's embark on this journey together. And one more thing. If this resonates with you, take a moment to act. Hit that like button, subscribe to Victory Stoic, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, the first step toward transformation is always action. Now, let's explore why they came back, and why you're no longer waiting for them to stay. Number 1. You are cloaked in mystery, a puzzle they can't solve. There is something undeniably magnetic about mystery. In a world where oversharing is the norm, where every thought is tweeted, every meal is posted, and every moment is documented, the one who remains silent stands out. You retreat, you step into the shadows, and suddenly, you are no longer just a person. They see you as an enigma. Seneca, the master of wisdom, once said, "Silence is a lesson in itself." And your silence, it speaks volumes. By not bearing your every thought and emotion, you allow curiosity to flourish. You become the book they can't stop reading, the story with an ending they desperately need to know. The more you hold back, the more they lean in, drawn by the irresistible allure of the unknown. Picture this. You've pulled away, stopped answering every text, stopped explaining yourself. At first, they may not notice. Days pass. Then weeks. And suddenly, they find themselves wondering. Why the distance? What are they doing? Their curiosity grows into an obsession, their mind replaying every conversation, every moment, searching for answers you've cleverly withheld. Mystery isn't about playing games. It's about living with intentionality. You don't need to over-explain or justify your actions. You don't need to broadcast every triumph or tragedy. Instead, you let your actions and presence, or absence, speak for you. Think of the legend throughout history who wielded mystery like a sword. Cleopatra, whose allure brought empires to their knees, didn't reveal all of herself. She made others crave what they couldn't fully grasp. Or the great Stoics themselves. Figures like Marcus Aurelius, whose reserved nature and profound wisdom left even his enemies in awe. They understood that what you don't say often carries more power than what you do. Here's how you can embody this magnetic mystery. Saw why less, observe more. Let your words be deliberate. Don't rush to fill silences. They often say more than words ever could. Cultivate depth. Focus on building your character and skills. When you reappear, let your transformation speak for itself. Maintain boundaries. Keep parts of your life private, not to be secretive, but to preserve your energy and individuality. This isn't about manipulation or withholding. It's about embracing your power. Your mystery is not a tactic. It's a byproduct of your authenticity. When you stop trying to explain yourself to the world, you allow others to see you as you truly are, a person of depth, focus, and purpose. So, when they start to return, drawn to the puzzle of who you become, remember this. Their curiosity is not your burden to satisfy. You owe them nothing but the version of yourself that aligns with your highest values. As Seneca reminds us, silence too can be eloquent. Let it work its magic. Number 2. Scarcity transforms you into a treasure beyond measure. There's a cruel irony in human nature. We undervalue what's always available and glorify what is just out of reach. By stepping back, you become the rare gem they didn't realize they needed, a pearl hidden deep beneath the waves, a star visible only on the blackest night. In your absence, your value isn't diminished, it's amplified. Suddenly, they're left grappling with a question they didn't know they'd have to ask. What did I lose? The Stoics understood this principle well. Epictetus might have smirked and said, "Isn't it fascinating how people take for granted the sun when it shines every day, but pine for its warmth in the dead of winter? Your distance creates the chill that makes them miss the warmth of your presence. And while they may once have overlooked you, now they're haunted by the void you've left behind." Imagine this scenario. You're always available, replying instantly to messages, showing up at every invitation, and bending over backward to accommodate others. Do they appreciate it? Rarely. But the moment you pull back, stop initiating, decline a few plans, become, dare we say, scarce, they notice. Suddenly, your name pops up in their thoughts. Why aren't they texting me back? What are they doing that's so important? They'll never admit it, but your scarcity sparks an itch they can't quite scratch. Let's turn to history for an example. Think of the Mona Lisa. Her smile has been puzzling humanity for centuries, and yet the painting itself is locked behind layers of glass in the Louvre. Seen by millions, but touched by no one. What makes her priceless? Not just her beauty, but her scarcity, her untouchability. You too can embody this allure, but not by accident. You must create it. Here's how scarcity works its magic. Guard your time. Stop being perpetually available. Your time is precious, and when you treat it as such, others will too. Say no with grace. Declining invitations or stepping away occasionally isn't rudeness. It's a reminder of your independence and boundaries. Focus on yourself. Invest your energy in personal growth, not constant availability. When they do see you, let them be struck by your evolution. And let's not forget the tragicomedy of their realization. They'll spend days, weeks, or months wondering why they didn't appreciate you when they had you. Your absence forces them to confront what they lost. It's like watching someone discover too late that the coupon for their dream vacation expired yesterday. Equal parts amusing and pathetic. The beauty of scarcity is that it doesn't demand an explanation. It works silently, stealthily. You're not playing hard to get. You're genuinely hard to replace. Your value isn't inflated. It's real, tangible, and undeniable. So let them stew. Let them puzzle over the gap you've left. As the Stoics might remind us, what is rare becomes priceless, and what is priceless is always pursued. You are not just anyone. You are the treasure they'll never stop chasing. Number 3. You are an unshakable pillar of self-respect. In a world where people constantly seek validation, scrolling for likes, fishing for compliments, or bending over backward to fit into someone else's narrative, there is something undeniably magnetic about a person who refuses to play the game. You are that person. You are the immovable pillar, the fortress of self-respect that stands tall against the relentless winds of desperation. Epictetus captured this timeless truth when he declared, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." And you've rescinded that consent. You don't chase, beg, or bend to gain favor, because your value isn't determined by others. It's determined by the unshakable foundation of your self-worth. This quiet confidence, this refusal to grovel, draws them to you like moss to a flame. Picture this. In the past, you may have been the one to chase, to over-explain, to endlessly accommodate. But then, something shifted. You realized that true respect, both for yourself and for others, can only grow when you stop running after it. Instead of being storm-tossed by every gust of external approval, you became the mountain, steadfast and resolute. Suddenly, the dynamic changed. Now they're left wondering, why aren't they chasing me? What changed? The answer is simple. You changed. Your unshakable self-respect is not arrogance. It's power. It's not about pretending you don't care. It's about truly understanding your worth. When you stop seeking validation, you exude a kind of confidence that can't be faked. It's the kind of strength that doesn't shout or demand attention. It simply exists, unyielding and undeniable. Think of a lighthouse in the middle of a storm. The winds howl, the waves crash, but the lighthouse doesn't move. Its purpose isn't to chase the ships. It stands firm, providing guidance and strength for those who recognize its value. You are that lighthouse, a beacon of stability in a chaotic world. They may drift away, but they'll find themselves drawn back, searching for the strength and clarity that only you provide. Here's how to embody this unshakable self-respect. Stop explaining yourself. You don't owe anyone a justification for your boundaries, your decisions, or your silence. Set firm boundaries. Respect your time, energy, and emotions, and expect others to do the same. Focus on your growth. Let your actions speak for you, whether it's advancing your career, nurturing your health, or pursuing your passions. Self-respect is the foundation upon which all relationships are built. Without it, connections crumble under the weight of insecurity and dependence. With it, you command not just respect, but admiration. As Epictetus might remind you, you are the master of your worth, and no one can diminish it by you. So stand tall, remain steadfast, and let them come to you, not because they pity you, but because they can't resist the fortress of confidence you've become. Number 4. You walk the path of purpose, guided by the flame of ambition. Purpose. The word alone carries a gravity that pulls people toward it. When you're on a mission, guided by an unrelenting drive to achieve something greater than yourself, you become a force of nature, impossible to ignore, and even harder to resist. Epictetus, ever the philosopher of clarity, advised, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Purpose doesn't just make you attractive, it makes you unstoppable. Let's start with a little harsh truth, shall we? Most people stumble through life like sleepwalkers, aimlessly scrolling, vaguely complaining, and endlessly procrastinating. And then, there's you. You stride through life with intention. You're the person who wakes up early not to hit snooze, but to hit goals. While others are stuck in a loop of Netflix binges and overthinking, you're mapping out your empire, one deliberate step at a time. Now, imagine this through their eyes. To them, you're a beacon, someone who knows exactly where they're headed. And what's more alluring than a person with direction in a world full of confusion? It's not just that you're busy, it's that you're busy building something meaningful. Your ambition shines like a torch in the night, and they want to bask in its glow. Consider a historical example. Think of Alexander the Great. Was he irresistible because of his looks? Maybe. But what truly drew people to him was his purpose: to conquer, to expand, to achieve the impossible. His drive was magnetic, and people followed him into battle, across deserts, and through the unknown. Your purpose, while perhaps less warlike, carries the same intoxicating power. Here's the key: your purpose isn't just about you. It's a vision bigger than your desires. Maybe you're building a career, starting a business, mastering an art, or even working on bettering your community. Whatever it is, your relentless pursuit of it sets you apart. And when people see that, they're not just intrigued, they're inspired. They want to walk beside you, to be part of the story you're writing. Tips to embody purpose. Define your mission. Write down your long-term goal. Ask yourself, what am I building? Why does it matter? Let actions speak. Talk less, do more. Let your accomplishments, and your unwavering focus, be the loudest thing in the room. Draw boundaries. Protect your time and energy. Purpose-driven people don't waste hours convincing others. They invest those hours into progress. Now, for the trail feng twist. Picture someone from your past, perhaps an ex or a flaky friend, watching you thrive. They see you, unstoppable and radiant, and suddenly, they're struck by inspiration, or maybe regret. They may pretend their admiration is subtle, but let's be real, they're taking notes. As Epictetus might nudge you, the world respects those who respect their mission. So walk boldly, let your ambition blaze a trail, and know that while they may want to join you, it's your vision that keeps you moving forward. Number 5. You emerge from distance transformed, a phoenix reborn. There is something mythical, almost divine, about the power of transformation. To retreat, to endure the crucible of solitude, and to rise from it stronger, sharper, and more formidable is no ordinary feat. It is the mark of those who understand the Stoic wisdom. In solitude, growth flourishes. When you create distance, it is not a retreat of weakness, but a strategic withdrawal to rebuild, to evolve, and to emerge as someone entirely new. The story of the phoenix is one of legend. This mythical bird doesn't merely live, it burns. Consumed by flames, it reduces itself to ashes, only to rise again, more radiant and powerful than before. And when you step back, when you allow yourself time and space to grow, you embody that very myth. You don't just change, you transform. When they meet you again, they're faced not with the person they left but with a monument to evolution, a testament to resilience and reinvention. Let's draw from history for a tale of true transformation. Napoleon Bonaparte, once the Emperor of France, was exiled to the island of Elba after his defeat. Many believed his reign was over, that he was finished. But Napoleon didn't wallow in despair. He spent his exile reflecting, strategizing, and preparing. When he returned to France, he didn't come back as a defeated man. He came back as a conqueror, reclaiming his throne and shocking the world with his resurgence. While his ultimate downfall came later, his transformation during exile remains one of history's most powerful examples of rising from the ashes. Your transformation may not involve empires or armies, but its impact is no less profound. The time you spend away isn't idle, it's active. It's where you shed old habits, refine your skills, and elevate your mindset. Perhaps you focused on your health, honed your craft, or achieved something significant, while others assumed you were stagnant. When they see you again, they're struck by the undeniable force of your growth. Here's how to embody the phoenix's rebirth. Prioritize growth in solitude. Use distance to work on yourself. Whether it's learning new skills, improving your health, or fostering emotional resilience. Embrace the process. Understand that transformation is not linear. It's messy, painful, and glorious. The struggle makes the rebirth all the more powerful. Show, don't tell. When the moment comes to reconnect, let your transformation speak for itself. Actions carry more weight than words. When you reappear, they may not recognize you at first. Your newfound strength, clarity, and presence will take them by surprise. They will see not the person they once knew, but the version of you that rose from the fire, unbreakable and awe-inspiring. As the Stoics remind us, growth is forged in hardship, not ease. Your distance wasn't emptiness. It was the fire of transformation. And now, like the phoenix, you rise, a living symbol of resilience and renewal. Let them see it. Let them marvel. And let them realize that what they lost is returned as something far greater than they could have imagined. Number 6. Your calm becomes a shield against chaos. In a world filled with noise and turbulence, calmness is a rare and formidable power. While others flail and crumble under the weight of life's chaos, you stand unshaken, a mountain rising above the storm, immovable and resolute. This isn't luck or complacency. It's a choice. It's the embodiment of Stoic wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, declared, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." And strength, in its purest form, is calmness in the face of chaos. Picture the average person when life throws a curveball. Tempers flare, panic sets in, and decisions are made hastily, often worsening the situation. Now, picture yourself, the eye of the storm. While the winds of adversity howl around you, you remain centered, clear-headed, and in control. It's not that you're immune to pressure, it's that you refuse to let it control you. This quality, this unshakable calm, is magnetic. It's what draws people to you, often without them realizing why. They may not admit it, but your ability to navigate life's storms without losing your footing is something they deeply envy. In your presence, they feel a sense of stability they lack, a calm they cannot replicate. You become, in their eyes, a lighthouse, a guiding beacon of clarity amid the crashing waves. History gives us no shortage of examples of such calm under fire. Think of Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War, facing not only the threat of national collapse, but also relentless criticism from all sides. Did he crumble? No. Lincoln's calm, steady resolve held the nation together, even in its darkest hours. It was his composure, not just his intellect, that made him a leader people trusted. Now, let's bring this closer to home. Imagine a tense workplace meeting where tempers flare, blame is thrown, and the atmosphere crackles with tension. While others raise their voices, you remain poised, listening carefully and responding with thoughtfulness. The room notices. People turn to you, not because you shout the loudest, but because your calm cuts through the noise. How to cultivate unshakable calm. Control your inner dialogue. When chaos arises, remind yourself that you control your mind, not the events unfolding around you. Repeat Marcus Aurelius' mantra, "This too shall pass." Practice deliberate breathing. Deep, steady breaths during moments of stress can anchor you in the present, preventing rash reactions. Focus on the bigger picture. Ask yourself, will this matter in a week? A month? A year? Perspective can dissolve unnecessary anxiety. Your calm doesn't just protect you. It transforms you into someone others instinctively trust. While their emotions spiral, your steadiness becomes a refuge. They gravitate toward you, hoping to absorb even a fraction of your composure. The Stoics remind us that chaos is inevitable, but succumbing to it is a choice. When you choose calmness, you don't just shield yourself. You inspire others to seek the same strength within themselves. Like the mountain that withstands the storm, your calmness isn't just a defense. It's a beacon of resilience, a reminder that peace is a power few dare to wield. Let them see it. Let them admire it. And let them wonder how they can achieve it too. Number 7. Your achievements echo across the realms. There is no greater force of attraction than undeniable success. In a world where talk is cheap and distractions reign supreme, it is action, relentless, purposeful action, that carves your name into the fabric of time. The Stoics understood this power, for they believed that actions resound where words fail. When you step back, when you dedicate yourself to building a life of accomplishment, you become a legend, a tale they cannot ignore. Imagine them, watching from afar. You've created distance, yes, but in that space, your victories have grown louder, reverberating like a mighty drumbeat. You scaled mountains they were too afraid to climb. You've conquered goals they deemed impossible. Your success isn't just a statement. It's a roar that drowns out the noise of mediocrity. History is littered with figures who let their achievements speak for them. Think of Alexander the Great, whose name still echoes through centuries of human history. At 20, he ascended to the throne. By 30, he had forged an empire that stretched across 3 continents. His ambition and action left no room for doubt. He was a force of nature. People didn't follow him because he talked a good game. They followed him because his accomplishments made it impossible not to. Now look at your own life. While others waste time seeking validation or wallowing in complacency, you've put in the work. Late nights, early mornings, sacrifices that others wouldn't dare make. You've paid the price for success. Whether it's a promotion, a creative breakthrough, a business milestone, or a personal transformation, your achievements radiate like a beacon. And those who once underestimated you can't help but notice. How to build achievements that echo. Let goals guide you. Clearly define what you want to achieve. Then, like a warrior on a quest, pursue it with unwavering focus. Execute relentlessly. Actions, not intentions, create results. Don't talk about what you're going to do. Just do it, and let the results announce themselves. Embrace sacrifice. Greatness requires trade-offs. Time, comfort, even relationships. Be willing to give up what holds you back to achieve what propels you forward. Picture this. They hear about your success secondhand. A promotion, a triumphant project, a personal victory. They see the changes in you. Confidence, clarity, charisma. Suddenly, you're not just the person they once knew. You're someone elevated, someone they aspire to understand but can no longer match. They are drawn to your orbit, not because you demand it, but because your success leaves them no choice. The Stoics remind us that success doesn't come from chasing recognition. It comes from dedicating yourself to meaningful action. By building a life of value, you become magnetic, an undeniable presence in a world of fleeting distractions. So let your achievements resound. Let them echo across the realms of your life, silencing doubts and commanding respect. Let them see what you built in their absence, and let them realize this truth. While they were distracted, you became unstoppable. As Marcus Aurelius might say, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. And so you are. Number 8. You radiate both strength and serenity. In a world that often feels rushed, noisy, and chaotic, you are a calming presence, a reminder that strength and serenity can coexist. Through your dedication to discipline and self-care, you've cultivated a balance that is as powerful as it is peaceful. The Stoics believe that true mastery begins with the self, and your life reflects this principle. A life where the body and mind are nurtured, aligned, and thriving. There is nothing loud or boastful about your presence. Instead, it speaks quietly yet unmistakably. You become a moving masterpiece, a harmonious blend of vitality and clarity. Your every action, every movement, radiates a quiet power that draws people in, not because you demand their attention, but because your grounded nature commands it. Imagine walking into a room. The air shifts, not from anything you say, but from the way you carry yourself. Your posture speaks of strength. Your calm, steady demeanor speaks of inner peace. While others rush to fill silences or make their presence known, you simply are, and that alone leaves an impression they can't quite forget. This isn't about perfection. It's about care. You've dedicated yourself to practices that elevate your body and mind, exercising not just to look good, but to feel strong and alive. Practicing mindfulness not to escape, but to engage fully with the present. These habits have turned you into someone others instinctively trust, someone they want to be near. Consider the Stoic ideal. A person who meets life's challenges with resilience and grace, who remains unshaken by external chaos because their inner world is firmly rooted. Marcus Aurelius himself balanced the immense weight of ruling an empire with his deep reflections on self-discipline and tranquility. His strength wasn't just in his power, it was in his calmness under pressure, and his ability to maintain harmony within himself even as the world demanded more. How to radiate strength and serenity. Nurture your body. Prioritize regular physical activity, whether it's yoga, running, or even a simple walk. A strong body supports a strong mind. Cultivate mental clarity. Dedicate time each day to mindfulness practices, like meditation or journaling, to center yourself. Practice intentional presence. Be fully present in conversations, activities, and moments, allowing others to feel seen and valued. Think of the sun as it rises over a still lake, strong, steady, yet gentle. Its warmth is not overwhelming but soothing. Its light is not blinding but illuminating. You've become this for those around you, a source of comfort and inspiration. They are drawn not just to your strength, but to the peace that radiates from it. The beauty of this balance is that it doesn't just transform you, it transforms those who encounter you. Your strength encourages others to rise, and your serenity reminds them that true power comes from within. As the Stoics believed, a disciplined life is a peaceful one, and your presence is living proof of that wisdom. Number 9. Your solitude is a kingdom unto itself. There is a quiet majesty in solitude, a realm untouched by the noise of the world, where the soul can breathe, reflect, and grow. The Stoics knew this truth well. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and philosopher, observed, "Nowhere can men find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his soul." To rule over oneself is the greatest dominion of all, and you, in your solitude, have built a kingdom unlike any other. In a society that fears stillness and glorifies constant connection, your ability to thrive alone sets you apart. Where others see isolation as emptiness, you see it as an opportunity, a space to deepen your understanding, cultivate your passions, to nurture your spirit. While they busy themselves seeking distractions, you find strength in being undistracted. This independence is magnetic, and they cannot help but wonder, what gives you this peace, this confidence? And why didn't they notice it before? Picture a quiet afternoon. While others scroll endlessly through their phones, or fill their calendars to avoid silence, you sit contentedly with a book, a journal, or simply your thoughts. There's no sense of lack, no desperation for external validation. Your self-reliance is complete. It's not about shutting people out. It's about knowing that your happiness and fulfillment aren't dependent on anyone else. And that, to those who don't understand it, is both fascinating and intimidating. History offers us a glimpse of his power in figures like Leonardo da Vinci. Much of his genius was cultivated in solitude, where he sketched, dreamed, and brought to life ideas that would change the world. His solitude wasn't loneliness. It was a sanctuary where creativity and brilliance thrived. In your way, you created a similar sanctuary, a space where you grow without needing the approval of others. How to rule your kingdom of solitude. Embrace the silence. Take time each day to disconnect from the world, whether through meditation, a walk in nature, or simply sitting quietly with your thoughts. Pursue inner growth. Use solitude as an opportunity to read, reflect, or work on personal projects that bring you joy and fulfillment. Protect your energy. Set boundaries to ensure your alone time is respected. Solitude isn't selfish. It's self-preservation. When they see you again, it's not just your achievement they notice. It's your calm, your clarity, your completeness. You don't need them, and that makes them want you even more. Your ability to be whole within yourself is a quality they can't replicate, and it leaves them questioning why they ever let someone as self-assured as you slip away. The Stoics teach us that the ultimate freedom lies not in avoiding solitude but in mastering it. Your solitude is not a void. It's a kingdom. Within its quiet walls, you found strength, purpose, and peace. And as Marcus Aurelius might remind you, retreat within yourself, for therein lies true tranquility. Let them marvel at the sovereign you become. Number 10. You have mastered the art of detachment. Detachment is an underrated superpower. While others cling, overanalyze, and attempt to control every outcome, you've let go. And in doing so, you become a paradox, completely unattainable, yet utterly irresistible. Epictetus, with his infinite Stoic wisdom, put it best. Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that what happens happens, and you will be serene. By mastering this art, you become a puzzle they can't help but try to solve. Imagine this. They expect you to chase, to question, to drop breadcrumbs of longing. Instead, you've gone radio silent. Not out of malice, but out of sheer indifference to the outcome. You've moved on, not in the dramatic, "I deleted your number and burned your photos" way, but in the "oh, you're still here" way. It's not that you don't care, it's that you've embraced the fact that life flows best when you stop clenching your fists around it. Consider the hilarity of their predicament. They text you something ambiguous, like, "Hey, just thought of you," expecting a swift, eager reply. Instead, you respond hours later with a calm, nonchalant, "Hope you're doing well." No emojis. No exclamation marks. Just enough politeness to show you're alive, but not enough to signal interest. They're left rereading your message, overanalyzing every word, while you're probably making a smoothie or reading a book about philosophy. Your detachment doesn't just confuse them, it fascinates them. Why aren't you desperate? Why aren't you reacting? They expected you to crumble without their presence, but instead, you've thrived. And now, your refusal to play the game makes you the ultimate challenge. Humans love a mystery, and you've just become their favorite unsolvable riddle. How to master the art of detachment without becoming a robot. Focus on yourself. Redirect the energy you'd spend overthinking into something productive, like learning a new skill or smashing your fitness goals. Avoid overreacting. Keep your responses calm and composed. Remember, your peace isn't up for negotiation. Release the outcome. Whether they return or not, your happiness doesn't hinge on their presence. That's their loss, not yours. Here's a relatable scenario. You see them in public, maybe at a coffee shop. Do you panic? Not. You stroll in, or your coffee with a confident smile, and pretend you barely notice them. Meanwhile, they're awkwardly spilling their latte, wondering why you're glowing like a walking Pinterest board of success. You didn't plan this encounter. It just happens to perfectly illustrate your ability to let go and let life flow. Mastering detachment isn't about playing hard to get. It's about genuinely being okay whether they come back or not. It's freeing yourself from the exhausting need for external validation and becoming someone whose peace cannot be rattled. As Epictetus might say, when you stop chasing, you start living. And as they chase you, bewildered by your calm confidence, you'll realize just how powerful that lesson truly is. Number 11. You have forged a life worthy of admiration. There's a moment when they stop and realize they're not drawn back to you by nostalgia, guilt, or regret. No, it's something deeper. The life you built, filled with purpose, beauty, and undeniable meaning, has become a masterpiece they can't ignore. Marcus Aurelius captured this perfectly. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. You didn't waste time plotting your comeback or wallowing in their absence. Instead, you used that time to build a life so rich, so admirable, that being near you feels like a privilege. While they were distracted, you were busy. You didn't just move on, you moved up. Your days became filled with meaningful work, creative passions, and personal growth. The routines you established, the goals you conquered, the joy you cultivated, each one added a brush stroke to the portrait of a life well lived. Now, when they look at you, they don't just see the person they know. They see someone transformed, someone elevated, someone they aspire to be near. Imagine their reaction when they see you thriving. Perhaps it's at a social gathering where you exude confidence and charm, engaging in conversations that reveal your depth and wit. Or maybe it's online, where they scroll through a glimpse of your life. A trip to a breathtaking destination, a passion project coming to fruition, or simply a moment of peace that radiates happiness. They see your glow, your vibrance, and they realize you're not waiting for anyone to complete you. You've already completed yourself. Here's the beauty of this. Your transformation wasn't born out of spite or the need to prove something to them. It was driven by your desire to live fully and authentically. You didn't aim to impress. You aimed to fulfill your potential. And in doing so, you became a force they can't ignore. How to forge a life they admire. Pursue your purpose. Whether it's a career, a passion, or personal growth, commit fully to what sets your soul on fire. Curate your surroundings. Build a space, physical and emotional, that reflects your values and inspires you every day. Celebrate your journey. Share your achievements with pride, not arrogance. Let your life speak for itself. Here's a relatable twist. Imagine bumping into them at an event. They approach cautiously, expecting to see traces of the person they once knew. Instead, they're met with someone radiating confidence and contentment. You smile warmly, not out of bitterness, but because their opinion no longer defines your worth. They might stammer through small talk, but deep down, they are left wondering, how did I ever let this person go? As Marcus Aurelius might remind you, true revenge isn't about proving others wrong. It's about living so fully, so beautifully, that their absence becomes irrelevant. Your life has become a melody of purpose and joy, and they can't help but be drawn to it. You're no longer someone waiting to be noticed. You're the one who shines so brightly that they can't look away. And that, truly, is the ultimate triumph. Conclusion. They didn't come back by accident. They came back because your distance revealed a powerful truth. You are not someone who fades into the background. You are a force to be reckoned with. By embracing the timeless principles of Stoicism and committing to relentless self-improvement, you've transformed yourself into a living embodiment of strength, purpose, and unshakable value. Each of the 11 reasons we've explored is more than just a reaction. It's a reflection of the life you built. Your mystery intrigues them. Your self-respect commands their admiration. Your achievements, your calm, and your independence make you irresistible. You didn't chase their return. You didn't beg for attention. Instead, you worked quietly and intentionally, turning distance into an opportunity for growth, clarity, and transformation. This isn't about manipulation or playing hard to get. It's about becoming a person who is so grounded in their worth, so aligned with their purpose, that others can't help but be drawn back into your orbit. They see now what they missed before: someone who doesn't need them, but who they desperately want to be around. Now, take a moment to reflect. Which of these reasons do you already embody? Which ones will you strive to cultivate further? Remember, the power to attract others isn't found in seeking their approval. It's found in the quiet, steady work of becoming the best version of yourself. If this resonates with you, hit that like button, subscribe to Victory Stoic, and share this video with someone who needs to hear these truths. Together, we can build a community of strength, wisdom, and purpose. True attraction isn't about chasing others. It's about rising above the noise, the distractions, and the chaos to live a life of meaning and value. As Marcus Aurelius might remind us, waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. So let us continue on this path of self-mastery. Let us become the people who don't just attract attention, but inspire others to elevate themselves. Let's build this strength, this clarity, this resilience, together. Your journey begins today.